Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Lakeview, junior high scheduling meeting. This is for your sixth graders going into seventh grade. However, some of the information will be the same. So if you've got a seventh grader going into eighth grade, it's going to be somewhat similar. I do have a couple people who are here in the room with me. I'm Rachel Hannigan. I am the building principal. Next to me is Sarah Geiger. She is our school counselor that will be working with the sixth grade going into seventh grade kiddos. Mr. Ben Baptist is our lead assistant principal. He is going to be helping in the chat. Mr. Ryan Max is our other school counselor. He is also going to be helping in the chat. And Kevin Smith, our assistant principal, is around and he will be participating in the meeting at a different time. So that's who's here. So let's kind of talk about what we are going to do today. We have somewhat of an agenda set for everybody. We're going to talk about our typical day, what our day looks like at the junior high. We're going to take you through the scheduling process, show you the hub. We're going to talk about your classes at middle school visits, and then the rest of the time is going to be for you to answer or ask questions and for us to answer them. So you can ask questions in the chat the entire time, and Mr. Baptist and Mr. Max will kind of be there to support and or give us questions to answer in that part of the presentation, so don't feel like you have to wait till the end to ask them all.
I get to talk a little bit about the typical day at the junior high. And we're first going to take a look at our bell schedule. And with your bell schedule, you'll notice that there are 7 class periods and 1 pause time. We're going to talk a little bit more about pause time in a moment, but I do want you to notice that that's the first 15 minutes of your day. And the rest of the class periods are about 50 to an hour long. And your class periods, we have 7. That means that you have room for your 4 core classes. That's your math, science, English, and social studies. And then 2 elective periods. So 2 class periods where you can choose the classes that you want to take. And then you also have a period for lunch and E&I. And we mentioned that we'd come back to that pause time in a little bit. So when we take a look at pause time, you can think of it as a homeroom period. It's not a class where you get grades, but it's a really important part of our day. It's where we all come together, share some conversations and activities that help each other get to know your classmates and your teachers. And we really focus on building relationships during that time.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about scheduling. And we're going to go through the basics. So what we've done for you is we have registered you for your core classes. So that's the English, math, social studies, and science. They're already pre-put into your schedule for you, as well as lunch and your pause time. So all of those are added. You don't need to go in and add any of those. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to add your electives. Now, if you have questions about core classes, we'll show you where to look for the presentations on those in the scheduling hub. But if it is a question about gifted placement or gifted services, please contact Todd Stanley or Leanne Ross, as they are the gifted coordinators and they are the ones that can explain it to the best of their abilities.
And we're going to get to take a look at the scheduling hub. Ms. Hannigan's going to work her magic and bring it up so that we can even explore it a little bit together. The scheduling hub was created so that everybody would have all of your scheduling information in one location, so that when you have questions or you're trying to figure out how to do things for the first time, all of your answers are in one place. And then if you still need help, you can reach out and let us know. We're going to start by taking a look at the top of our scheduling hub. Before you dive into picking your classes, we recommend that you take the first steps there at the top of the page. You'll see it says, watch this welcome video. There's also a how-to schedule video. Definitely recommend watching the how-to schedule video before you go to schedule your classes. And then there's a scheduling timeline for important dates. One important date that I want to mention is the 12th. March 12th is the date when you want to have all of your elective classes put into Infinite Campus so that you've registered for them. And then as you go on down, you'll see that it's time to explore. Everything that you need to find is on this page for your electives and your alternative or backup electives. If you start there at the left under scheduling information, you'll see the course of study that gives you a description of your classes, your handbook so you can know even more about what to expect in junior high, and then how to schedule. So you already watched the video, but there's written instructions that give you a step-by-step. And then that scheduling timeline, remember we mentioned March 12th is the date that you want to have everything registered in an Infinite Campus. And then special education, gifted services, and EL services if you're interested in those. And there's that how to schedule video. And our junior high core classes that Mrs. Hannigan mentioned will already be registered for you in Infinite Campus. And then if you take a look to the right of the page, you're going to see 2 part of elective videos. These are all classes that you can explore and try out to see if you're interested in different subject areas. And when you click on the videos, you're going to find out a little bit more about the classes from the teachers and some of the students even themselves. And if we scroll on down, you'll see that there are other videos there for Lakeview or Ridgeview, whichever school that you are attending, including Meet the Office Staff, an intro video, and a virtual tour so that you can get an idea of what the school building looks like. And we also have on the right-hand side some year-long electives. That means that takes up an entire class period for all 3 of the trimesters. Those are classes like band, choir, orchestra, or foreign language. And notice that French 1 and German 1, those are for 8th graders only, but qualifying students can take Spanish 1. There's also information about athletics if you're planning to participate. And then if you still have questions after you've explored the hub, there's a Google form there at the bottom where you can submit your questions and then even see the responses to other questions that people have asked in the frequently asked questions section. And we are going to go back to our presentation so that we can continue telling you about what to expect when you come to Lakeview Junior High.
Bear with me a second. I gotta navigate through our things here. Okay.
They're experts at the scheduling hub now.
Yes, totally. Okay. So we've talked about our elective courses, and the biggest thing is you want to make sure that you have enough elective courses to cover 6 trimesters of courses. So make sure that you have, if you have a year long, then you have 3 other electives plus 2 alternates. We want those 2 alternates in because sometimes electives just don't fit into your schedule, so we need those extra ones to see what else you would be interested in, or we'll be calling you over the summer or putting in electives that we think, based on everything else, would be what you want. Okay, so we will be at the middle schools. You will have an admin and a counselor that is coming down to the middle schools to come talk to the kids, depending on what day and what school you are. So we'll be at Harmon Middle School the 8th and the 11th. We'll be at Tollgate March 9th and 12th, and we will be in the E&Is for those students those days. So combination of any of an admin and a counselor will be there depending on what day it is to answer questions for the students. So now we're going to kind of turn it over to parents and students, and we will ask your questions. So I'm going to stop presenting my screen here and come back to you. Okay.
There was a note that some of the links on the hub aren't working, so just make sure everyone's aware of that and we'll fix them.
Okay. So there's a note that said some of the links are not working on the scheduling hub. We'll go back through it and make sure that they are working. But if you send us an email too, we can also check. The scheduling hub was sent out to the students. They have it available to them in their Google Classrooms for their teams. And we also sent it out over talking points and Infinite Campus messages as well. So I can resend it again when I send out the copy of the video if we need to.
Can you link it in the chat? We can link it in the chat as well so that you can access it from this presentation.
So the information in the scheduling hub is the same information that they have for Ridgeview. It's the 2 junior highs do basically everything very similar and the same. So we have the exact same courses and it's the exact same scheduling process. So yes, Ridgeview, Lakeview, it will be the same.
I have a question about VLA students getting help for live help for scheduling.
So the VLA, we have gone into the town halls to talk with the students for VLA. The teachers also are aware of the scheduling hub and how it works. And then we have time set up with the counselor to be available to the students so that they can join a Google Meet or ask questions with them for them as well.
I saw a question asking how many electives do they need to choose again? So you have 2 elective periods that you get to fill. If we are in trimesters at the junior high, so if you choose a year-long elective like band, choir, or foreign language, or orchestra, then that would be one of your class periods for electives. Then you could choose 3 trimester courses or another year-long. So you have 6 spots to fill, and you can choose up to 6 trimester classes, 2 year-long classes, or 1 year-long and 3 trimester classes, as long as you've filled the 6 spots on the schedule. And we also recommend that you select at least 3 alternative classes. We work really hard to try to put everybody in the classes that they are most interested in, but choose some backup classes just in case the schedule doesn't work that way for you.
So requested versus alternate classes. Requested are the ones that the kids really, really, really want to take. Alternate classes are the ones that the students are like, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking, but it's not my first choice. We try to fill from the requested classes first. So whatever it is that they want, we try to fill those first. We only go into the alternates if we can't, if we have a scheduling conflict, if it doesn't work. For some reason, there's not enough sections or something like that. So we try to fill from requested first, and then we go into the alternates. I did see a question about fall sports. We will not update fall sports until the summer. So we just got our spring sports into final forms to be updated. So look around, I think the 1st of July or somewhere around there. We'll send out a message if we have more information that's updated there first. But you can't even like log into the sports for the 21-22 school year yet. So just be patient and wait for those.
I saw a thank you in the chat. You're welcome.
Another question, how we can help our children select what elective is best.
Oh, that's a great question. They said that there's a question about how you can help your child select an elective that's best for them. Start with what they're interested in or what they think they might be interested in. Junior high is a great time to get to explore different elective options and possible career paths that you might not have even had the opportunity to explore before. And then there are the videos in the hub for all of the different class options. You can watch the videos and see what seems like fun for you. Sign up for the ones as requested, the ones that you'd like to take as your first choices, and then your alternatives as the ones that you'd be okay with for your backup choices.
The other way, or the other place you can see the electives is in the program of studies. It has a written explanation. It has a little bit more of like if there's any prerequisites for the class, or if it's a semester-long class, if it's a year-long class. So if you go to the elective section in the program of studies, it has that. So you might want to start there if you don't want to watch all the videos, and then watch the videos for the ones that the kids seem more interested in. So scheduling time and links to this works on that page, Junior. So I'm not sure what that
I
is.
just put a link in for the hub.
Okay.
But the individual links on the hub, we'll have to check.
Okay.
So Mr. Baptist included the link for the scheduling hub there in the chat, and we'll be checking all of the individual links to make sure they're accessible as well.
I did want to say that I have been kind of monitoring, sorry, I've been monitoring like the 7th graders like coming in, their scheduling. And some of them have been scheduling for courses like French 1 and Actors Studio that are not 7th grade courses. So I've been altering their, like taking them out of their course request and then sending an email to the parent and the student as well, explaining what it is and that they may need to go back in and add more electives. So I've just been kind of keeping track of and looking at that, and I've sent a couple emails out to students and parents so that they're aware that, you know, they might have to go in and make alternate selections. Any other questions? I got a text message saying that it wasn't working. So I'm not sure. It said something about video being restricted. If you have people that you know that were trying to log on but couldn't log on, we'll send out the link to the video at the end so that it kind of goes through the presentation and goes through everything as well.
3 questions were when sports are offered to 7th graders.
Any sport that we have is offered to both 7th and 8th graders, so it's not restricted. So we're talking about, let me think. Fall, we have football, volleyball for girls. Girls tennis is also in the fall. Cross country, boys and girls. Anything else for fall that we can think of off the top of your head?
Yes.
So then we have basketball, boys and girls lacrosse. We have golf, boys and girls, but there are 2 different seasons. Boys tennis is in the spring, girls tennis is in the fall. We have wrestling for boys, although girls can wrestle as well. So it's not just the boys team. Trying to think of other sports that we have. Cheerleading is for football season and basketball season. We do not have competition at the junior high level. And then track and field is boys, girls, 7th and 8th grade.
If you choose 2 year-long electives, how many alternates?
Yes, if you choose 2 year-long electives, please give us at least 3 alternates, because if one of the year-long electives does not fit in, then we'll have to have alternates. Now, if they're band or orchestra, those are going to get filled. So we kind of build their schedule around band and orchestra and choir, like those classes. It's if they're trying to take like Spanish 1 and band. That one, like if they don't get into Spanish 1, if there's not enough sections or something, then we'll try to go back and fill in with the electives. But like band and orchestra are the big ones that we have to worry about.
Someone's clarifying that they can start scheduling electives now.
Yes, you can start scheduling electives now, and you just have to have it completed by the 12th. And there's no save option, so once they're in there, you don't have to worry about like submit or anything like that. They're automatically saved. I did see something about Theater 1 and Actor Studio. Actor Studio is not offered for 7th grade. Theater 1 is. So 7th graders can take Theater 1. The thing with Actor Studio is they have to take Theater 1 first, and then it's an audition class. So they have to do an audition to get into it in the 8th grade.
Does that mean all foreign languages are not for 7th graders?
Spanish 1 is for 7th graders, and Flex, the foreign language exploratory class, is for 7th graders as well. But French 1 and German 1 are not offered in the 7th grade. We do have cheerleading and golf. I did see that. Girls golf is in the fall, along with boys.
Can you clarify Theater 1 and Actor Studio?
Okay.
One's for 7th grade.
Theater 1 is for 7th grade or 8th grade. Actor Studio is 8th grade only. So for clarification. Yes, you can change your elective selections up until the 12th. After the 11:55 p.m. on March 12th is when you will no longer be able to go in and edit. So you can go in and edit anytime up until that time frame. The other thing I want to say about foreign language in the 7th grade is it is a high school level class. I was a French teacher at the high school for 16 years. And so when you were talking about a foreign language for the 7th grade, you have to be really, really prepared and very motivated and very on top of it, because what it's going to do is it affects their GPA. So you're talking about your high school GPA as a 7th grader. So you really want to be sure that it's something that they're ready to do. It's a lot of time commitment and a lot of work as far as them going through and being prepared and being ready to take the course. So it's, and they have plenty of time in the high school to finish the whole course of foreign language. So if they don't start in the 7th grade, they can start in the 8th grade, and they're still going to be able to get through all the courses that they want to if they want to continue on in foreign language.
When can parents meet with counselors for VLA students?
We are happy to meet with parents. If you have specific questions, please feel free to email. Myself is Sarah_Geiger@plsd.us, or Mr. Max is Ryan_Max@plsd.us. We'll also be working with the VLA teachers to get this information directly to the students.
So I saw one about orchestra. My daughter wants to be in orchestra, but she does not play the violin yet. Is that problematic? Our teachers will work with kids. We have students who want to start who just decided or didn't get the opportunity to play in the middle school level. Sometimes they will recommend private lessons with the teacher or with an outside tutor just to kind of get them caught up a little bit. But, you know, if they want to play, our teachers are willing to work with them. So don't let it be a hindrance. And so we have had some kids that switch from orchestra to band. So it just depends. And Mr. Max is typing in office hours for VLA if you have questions as well.
Very slowly.
We're going to give it a couple more minutes and see if there's some questions kind of rolling in at the end, just because we don't want to keep you longer than we have to keep you. But if you've got more questions, keep them coming. We'll hang on for a few minutes more here. And Mr. Max just put in the school counselors into the chat. So their emails are there for you guys to access. Did we miss any questions going through? Are we good?
Thanks.
Well, if there are no other questions, thank you for your time. And like I said, like everything is on the hub, but feel free to email any one of us if you've got questions, and we are, you know, really responsive in getting back to the kids. And we will be out in the middle schools next week, so we'll see the kids then. If they have questions, they can ask. But I know a lot of you have already started the scheduling process with your child, and we really are thankful for your help and support through this. And if you have any other questions, we are available. So I'm going to give it one more second here, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. So thanks for joining us tonight. Students, the core classes are already in. I'm just seeing this now. The core classes are already in their schedule for an Infinite Campus. So when they log in to add their electives, their core classes are there.
Anything about clubs, extra clubs?
There are extra clubs. Right now, we are limited with our clubs because our clubs are virtual. So a lot of them are not meeting right now. But we'll get it out in the first couple of weeks of school of what clubs are available for the students to join. And the students can also make a club if they have a group of students who are interested and a faculty member who's willing to stay and or help facilitate the club with them. And VLA students can always meet with counselors. The list of student clubs is very limited right now. We have yearbook, student council,
Web
leaders, National Junior Honor Society, that's 8th grade only, Honors Council, leadership team, and then we had a D&D club, Dungeons and Dragons, for a while, but they're not meeting this year. So I think that's all I can. Christian Club is the other one. So I think that's all we have. Giza.
There'll be a list of clubs that students get early next year.
Yeah, we'll have a list out and we'll put it out with our scheduling stuff and our welcome days, like the things that are available for the kids to be a part of. Foreign languages offered at the high school that are not offered here would be American Sign Language is the only one. And it's a 3-year program at the high school, not 4 or 5 years. Electives are not first come, first serve. It doesn't matter if they sign up today or March 12th. It is basically based on like their other core like requests and how it fits into where the electives are scheduled, because every elective teacher might teach several different classes. So not every elective is offered every period. So that's going to be the big deciding factor. So it doesn't matter if you sign up today or March 12th at 11:50. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. If you have any other questions, please email us and let us know. We appreciate you logging in and asking questions and helping out your kids. Have a good evening.